What's happening, fight fans? Welcome back to the MMA Mindset. Wolkernite Fight Championship 7 is a month away today, actually, of the recording of this, 22nd of February. It's going to be amazing. We've got so many good fights announced. Maybe got a couple more in the pipeline as well. So make sure that you get your tickets, links in the description, or go through the fighters. Make sure you get your tickets through them because they're the ones that you really should be buying these tickets from. And if you can't attend, livemma.co.uk for the pay-per-view. As always, they do a fantastic job at putting the production on, and make sure you check out the new cage as well, because that's going to be unbelievable to have the new cage with the walkway and the lights. It's gonna look sick. But yeah, without further ado, I'm joined by Dorian Swiatkowski. How you doing, my man?
Not bad. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, exactly. And a fight I'm super excited for. Obviously, a really tough opponent as well. Probably the most experienced opponent that you're going to be facing, even throughout your amateur career. How are you feeling about your fight with Rafal?
Excited for it. I didn't look too much into him. Recently, just not been looking much into my opponents, just mostly focusing on myself. But I did see that he had quite a few fights, both here and back in Poland. So definitely be excited to see what he's got.
Yeah, and like I said, he's from what we've seen and what we know about him, very good wrestler, likes to grapple and very strong in terms of like the takedowns and stuff. Is that kind of the fight that you're expecting from him?
Yeah, definitely. The only fight I did see, I think, was his most recent one. And you could see his wrestling was quite good. He just got caught, I think, late in the first or early in the second round.
Yeah.
But up until that point, I think he was doing quite well. And I think he's got quite a similar style to mine from what I've heard. The people that did watch his fights at my gym, they mentioned a lot of the finishes he's had were just ground and pound, holding them down and smashing them.
Yeah, exactly. And he sometimes I feel like he's someone that exerts quite a lot of energy as well. In that first round, he's always going for the finish. Obviously, yourself, you've got your two pro victories, both by first round finish. Is that kind of the pace of the fight that you're gonna see? We think you're gonna see. You're gonna see both of you trying to get him out there in the first round.
I'm definitely expecting him to come out swinging. But I know I got the cardio for all three rounds and to maintain that intensity throughout the fight. So I'm not too worried about it. And I doubt he'll be able to knock me out. I got a pretty big head. So I don't think he'll be able to get me out in the first round. And after that, I think my cardio will just outpace him completely.
Yeah, but like I said, it's when I've spoken to Reese and when I've spoken to Brandon, it's something that your gym seems to focus a lot on is cardio and making sure that your conditioning is there. I think that gives you a bit of an advantage against a lot of your other opponents who are who maybe not focusing on their cardio as much as you guys.
Yeah, definitely. I know I've not had the chance to yet, but I know Chris started doing it with the other guys on Saturdays. They do like a proper beastie workout where you take them out for a massive run, sprinting up and down hills, and just whatever crazy stuff he can come up with at the time.
Yeah, no, I think I caught Brandon before he did his, and I caught Reese the next weekend before they did it, and they said it was unbelievable. But at the end of the day, if you're the one putting in that work when it gets to the later rounds, you're the one that's going to be fresher, and you're the one that's going to be able to keep going and keep digging in those later rounds. In terms of obviously your training for this fight, is there anything in specific that you've kind of been focusing on, or have you kind of just been sharpening all the tools in the toolbox?
Working on everything overall, but I have been focusing on my wrestling a bit more, getting rounds with just better guys at higher level where possible, going all over to different gyms just to get a feel for it, what it's like to wrestle these guys that have been pro for a while, for example, and just see what it's like. And I'm feeling good for it. I don't think he's going to have anything that will surprise me.
Yeah, well, obviously, not the last event. The event before we had Ash Walters versus Jabib Rahman. Obviously, Jabib, one of the main events, someone that you've beaten and quite handily in the first round. Obviously, in terms of taking on a bit more of an experienced opponent, does having the wins that you've got against top level opponents give you a lot of confidence in taking this kind of step up into the next level of opponents that you're having?
Yeah, definitely. I think both since I've gone pro and in my amateur career, I've not really had many easy fights. I might have had a couple in my amateur, but most of them, they were high level guys. So I've definitely have experience of fighting people that are at a high level and keeping up with them and beating them.
Yeah. Well, what's a ridiculous stat about you, and I don't know if you know this. Every single person that every single person that you've lost to is either still undefeated or was undefeated at the time of your fight.
That's a pretty cool stat. Not
Yeah.
thought about that before.
Yeah, literally, like every single fighter that you've been unsuccessful against was either undefeated or is still undefeated at the moment. So I think that kind of pays testament to you guys, and you guys at the gym as well. At Resurrection, there's no easy fights. Is that something that your coach kind of pushes on you, that when we're not taking easy fights and we're going to get the best experience against the best opponents that we can?
He never said it directly, but whenever we get the matches sent through, it's never been a case of, oh, this guy might be a little bit too good. Maybe we'd like an easier fight. That's never even come up.
Yeah, and what's kind of the atmosphere in the gym at the moment? Because I know you've got Brandon. It must be pretty exciting because obviously you've got this fight against Rafal, and then Brandon's coming back after a couple of years off, and then Reese is making his adult MMA debut. What's the atmosphere like in the gym at the moment?
It's great. We had a decent fight team probably about a year or two back, and then it kind of died down a bit where there wasn't many people competing other than me. So it's just good to see everyone back in, and you can see it in the training as well. It's getting more intense, even with some of the newer guys. I think we got a couple guys doing their first junior fights as well. So even with them, the intensity's going up, and you're not able to basically have as much of a rest round when you are going with some of the less experienced guys. It's just everyone's pushing it the whole time, getting ready for it.
Yeah, and I'm always excited when you guys come to go fight cards, because like I said, you've been at most of the ones that I've been at now from Wolkernite, and it's great to have you there. In terms of the rest of the year after February 22nd, obviously you're getting your fight in pretty much on the first card that's going on in 2025. Are you looking to have a pretty active year?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and keep my weight down a bit because I normally go a bit crazy after the weight cut and everything. So I'll keep the weight down a bit, and I'm hoping to catch some more fights relatively close together. And maybe trying out some different promotions in Europe as well. There's a couple I've been talking to, might be able to jump on some over there.
Well, obviously, you say you were successful against Rafal, and that puts you at 3-1. You have a couple more fights. You could be ending this year on 5-1. Where do you kind of see yourself next year? Are you wanting to then be pushing on to your sort of European shows like your Octagon, like your Cage Warriors? Is that sort of something that you're looking at?
Yeah, definitely. I've been keeping that in mind with my training, so I will be chasing the highlight a little bit, trying to get something out there to get your name out. So I got some flashy moves in the bag that I think I might try and catch him with.
Yeah, well, we always like that, and my logo for the MMA Mindset is going to be on the canvas. So if anything you're planning on doing, if you could do it over that logo as well, that'd benefit me. And what are the kind of next few weeks looking like for you in terms of are you ramping up training, or are you going to be doing a few more rounds and then tailing it off towards the last week?
So I think I'll probably spar next week, and maybe couple here and there, depending on what I'm getting in the week after that. And that'll be it. Then it's just all cardio. I've already started trimming down with the calories a bit, so weight slowly coming off. And yeah, feeling good for it, to be fair. Mostly just focused on losing the weight, keeping the intensity up.
Yeah, and last, just before I let you go, do you have any sort of prediction for fight night? How you think the fight's going to go, or any particular way that you think the fight might end?
I think with both of us, it's definitely going to end up going down. We both had a lot of ground and pound finishes, so it'd just be a case of whoever can get the better of the other one and end up on top from it. I don't think he'll be able to strike with me, so if it stays on the feet, I can probably finish him in quite a spectacular fashion.
Yeah, well, like I said, chasing that highlight, and we all love highlights. So yeah, I hope it all goes well for you, Dorian. But thank you very much for coming on, mate. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your evening.
Thank you for having me. It's been great.
Yeah, not a problem. Like I said, make sure tickets, links in the description. Make sure you tune in for this fight. This is a fight that should be happening on a huge European show, like your Octagons, like your Cage Warriors, like your PFLs and stuff. This is a fight that has the talent to be on those cards. So make sure you're tuning in. Make sure you go and like all our socials, and don't miss this card. But once again, Dorian, all the best for the rest of your fight camp, and I'll see you on February the 22nd.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
Nice one. Cheers, Paul. Thank you. Bye.